Alright, looks like we are ready to go. Alright, how's it going, everybody? I'm d4gr0n, and we are on our final day of Retrothon, and this is my 8th and final run. And of course, what better way to end it off than the game that started it all, for me at least. We're doing the no wrong warps category, which basically just means death warps are not allowed, and that's fine, because death warps are not very marathon bot safe, I should say. Alright, I'm just going to get started here. Alright, now. Okay. So, I am controlling this completely fragile mech called the MEM 308 Gunner. Thankfully, with a single power-up, single armor power-up, I should say, I am able to take more than one hit at least. But the main feature of this game is that I can flip gravity and walk upside down, as well as right side up. So that's a little bit of a cool mechanic here. There's 2 power-ups right there. So now I have the armor, and you also saw the G power-up. This is the gravity fireball. It turns me into a fireball every time I flip gravity. Unfortunately, though, I'm stuck with a pea shooter still, which is really bad damage. But that's fine, the P power-up's right there, and that is our power beam, which allows us to pretty much destroy boss fights. This guy's a huge troll with the rings, but he gave me a good pattern, so that was a pretty solid stage 1. Sadly, I'm not going to be doing the second loop. I gotta be actually good at the game. So, maybe next time. Maybe next time. Alright, stage 2. Stage 2, I think, is probably one of the hardest stages to do right. And it's a pretty scary level. A lot of things that can very easily kill me. I did that really smoothly. I don't know why I've been so on point with that. That's a lot harder than it looks. But that was the first section. Now, here are these swinging doors here. They swing open and closed as you flip gravity. They also count as crushing damage. So it doesn't matter if you have armor or not. They will kill you in a single hit. Pretty fun. But so far this is looking just fine. Looks a little bit sketchy at times, but I know when to pretty much turn around. And that was a pretty solid stage 2. So now I want to do some light mashing here. Establish a solid power beam line there, like that. Fortunately, I missed one of my jumps. So I am... Unfortunately, that's going to cost me a fair bit of time. But that is stage 2. Now, stage 3. Stage 3 is actually pretty simple. All you have to do is just keep holding right, and you generally want to keep these guys on a standard pattern here. Like, they all are in a cycle, and as long as you keep moving right, you keep them on the same sort of cycle. Very important that I make sure I go through that little corridor there with the fireball, because you're just gonna die to that one stray bullet. Nothing you can really do about it. Also, that red guy back there with the huge laser there, he will only stop firing a laser if you flip the gravity. Also, this part's a little sketchy, but when you've played this game as long as I have, you just know how much of a jump you need to do. Also, here's an interesting boss here. So, this guy will try to move towards what quarter of the room you're at, but as long as you stay in the quarter of the room where he's at, he is not going to move anywhere. And that's stage 3. Thanks for the good luck, Mello. Now we got an auto-scroller. And this is a pretty long one. So I guess I'll take the time to explain the story of this game. But what we're trying to do here is we're trying to activate a self-destruct. We're trying to activate the self-destruct sequence in order to destroy what is basically a Death Star. You look at the box art of this game, it looks basically like a Death Star. But some computers malfunctioned. This was supposed to be some sort of battle station or some sort that was supposed to help humankind, but then the AI, I guess, malfunctioned, and then they decided to blow up Neptune, and now have turned their sights to Earth. And so the M308 gunner, or the pilot of the M308 gunner, is on a mission to destroy this this little Death Star battle station, what have you. And that's pretty much the gist of it. Alright, so coming up is a mini-boss here. Pretty easy to screw up, but we did it just fine. That's pretty much as solid a quick kill as you're ever gonna see. Oh yeah, and so here's the shield force. This is the other power-up in the game that you're not gonna see very often, as we already disposed of it. It's unfortunately a pretty weak weapon or power-up. Because once again, you're reduced to having the pea shooter, and you don't want to have the pea shooter. Not in a speed run. Maybe in a pacifist run, I might do something like that eventually with the shield force. Be a pretty cool idea. Also, this section here, really careful. Perfect. All right. So by killing that guy in a single jump, I'm able to save some frames in terms of lag. You also don't want to move while that guy is completely exploding there, because it does generate more lag as well. So we should have saved a few keyframes during this auto-scroller, and the only reason I found out about that was just listening to the music here. So here's a pretty tricky fight here. Pretty easy to get hit accidentally. That was a pretty good fight. Ideally, the best fight is you don't want him touching the ground there, but... yeah, no mashing. That's the best thing. Now we're on to stage 5. This is probably the hardest level, in my opinion. These laser guys are all on a global timer, so trying to get through this as quickly as possible is pretty key. I'm gonna have to take this safe. Take an intentional hit there. You do want to kill... you don't want any more than 2 of these laser guys on screen at all times. Perfect. Okay, so now the global timer of the lasers have been reset to start with these guys not firing lasers on this screen. This is a screen... this part here I need to do pretty much perfectly. If I don't do it perfectly, the next section here with these guys becomes a problem. And I messed it up because I turned away too soon. So now we are forced to wait on cycles now. Kind of unfortunate. Come on, I need... there we go. Alright, we're gonna make it. Alright, now, this boss used to be considered random. But with careful positioning and careful utilization of damage, we are able to get a good result out of him. Oh. Did a pattern I was not expecting him to do there. That's fine, though. But yeah, stage 5 is pretty much the big run killer, usually in my attempts. So now we're on to stage 6 here, and this may look a little bit disorienting, but the stage is just constantly scrolling up. So if you come from the top of the screen, you'll end up at the bottom. You probably saw me just peer off appear at the bottom of the screen or the top of the screen as I almost fell to the bottom. And you also, once again, have to flip gravity at specific points in order to keep moving with decent pace. So I'm just gonna drop off here, shoot this guy. Did not kill that guy, that's gonna be a problem. Just a little bit of lost frames there. Alright, that's fine though. I kept my armor, that's the most important thing. So here's... Now this boss tends to cause a lot of people problems. But these shutters open and close, or they open to kind of indicate when they're finally open to be attacked. I'm attacking them in a very specific manner, and I believe this is the fastest possible kill you can do on them. I slightly had a slower kill than usual, but that's fine. I had a really solid stage otherwise. And that's pretty much all the stages. The rest of it's just a giant boss rush. So you're gonna see all these familiar bosses again. This guy really only known for trolling with his ring attacks. But I'm gonna try, I guess I'll take this time to explain that about, I'd say 12 hours ago, I found a quicker way of saving like 28 frames on the fifth boss. And it's pretty stupid. It's just, I have to be able to anticipate if he's actually going to move in the spot I want him to. And usually, he's not going to move to the spot I want him to. And you can't do too much damage to him as a result of that. This was kind of a poor outing. Yeah, bit of a sloppy fight, but we take those. Alright, what's gonna happen here? Let's see if we can do it. Nope. Couldn't even get the old quick kill. So, the fast quick kill is he goes up quickly and reverts to his blue phase there. The older and slower quick kill is when he moves down like he did there. Because you're kind of waiting for him to slowly descend down. I did the math on it, and it appears to be like 28 frames of time saved. Alright, well, that was not the best fight either. But it looks like we're going to finish at least under 12:20, so that's good. So here's the last boss. Really nothing to him. And that's time. Wow. 12:14. Very nice. Very nice. I will take that. This is a very, very optimized category. My personal best is very, very optimized in this game. It, after all, was the very first category I ever ran. But that is the very last run I will do for Retrothon. I hope you all have an enjoyable rest of the marathon. And I will pass that on. I'll pass it on to the next runner. Thanks for watching.